my goodness. Another year, 7 years in a row. I can't believe you guys are here again to honor my dad and his great, whatever. I'm sorry. Anyway, thank you so much for coming. And Randy and I are going to.
The first thing I want to say is the Potches here, Annie Potch, parents.
Nancy, are you here?
No.
No, they didn't
Well,
come.
okay, good.
A friend from California.
She's a friend from California. She did Annie, their daughter, she bought an old school bus and repainted it, rebuilt it, and we did pub crawl in it. We had a bunch of poets get on the bus, and we went from brewery to brewery in Santa Cruz, and the poets would get out and read their poems.
And what was it called?
It's called the Neal Cassady
Poetry
Pub Crawl. So anyway,
It was awesome.
it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted, they were supposed to be, they live in Boulder, and we were hoping they'd be here. So
Anyway.
if you are here in Chi, we're over there. So mainly what we want to talk about is what we have been doing. We are now, as many of you probably know, Carolyn Cassady passed away a couple years ago. And we have taken over, Jami and I, the Neal Cassady estate. And so we wanted to let you know that we're doing that and how to get a hold of us and what's going on. I don't know if many of you have heard about the letter, the so-called Joan Anderson letter. You know what? You don't know about it? Yes. Okay. Anyway, it's a big court case. It's called the Holy Grail of the Beat Generation. It's the manuscript, 40,000 word manuscript of what changed the way Jack Kerouac wrote. He wrote much like Tom Wolfe up until that time. And when this manuscript came out, he mailed it to Jack. Jack said it was the greatest thing on the face of the earth, mailed it to Allen Ginsberg. Ginsberg said, "You're right. Well, let's get this published." And it disappeared. And a lot of stories. One story that stuck was that it went to this publisher in Marin County, and he was on his houseboat in the bay, and a big wind came along, and it went into the water, and it was gone. So, and he's been blamed ever since, and it was false. He always said, no, that's not true. So anyway, this lady found it, and it's been a big court case, and for over a year now, and it's kind of winding down, and only the Cassadys and the Sampas family from Kerouac and the lady that found it, Joan Spinoza, are still involved in it. There were 6 people in the beginning, and now everybody's been eliminated but the few. And so we're trying to get it, but it's finders keepers. And, you know, what they say, 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of the law. And so this Joan Spinoza, she found the manuscript that her father had shoved in a drawer for 30, 40 years. And now it came up, and so we're trying to get a hold of it. So anyway, that's gone on. So.
Yeah. So anyway, this Joan Anderson letter thing, if you go online, it's huge. It's been over a year. They found it after 40 years. It's the Holy Grail of beat writing. And I think next week we're going to go to L.A. and see it. I have never seen it. Nobody's ever showed it to me. It's over a year that's been found. The Cassady family has never been able to look at it. And so anyway, Randy and I are going to go down next week and hopefully, yeah, something. I don't know. Okay, we'll see. Stay tuned. Anyway, another thing we're doing, Randy and I last year, we both retired, and we're going around the country, music festivals, Grateful Dead stuff, anything like that. We are now the Neal Cassady Estate, and if you ever want anything, we'll be happy to come and be a part of your event. And what we found is that Dad is absolutely way into the the Merry Pranksters. The second part of his life has finally come to me. I never liked the Dead, I'm sorry. And, and so now we're going to these music festivals, and these people love Dad so much. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie that Bob Weir did, the other one, and he has like a 20-minute speech about Neal and about how he changed his life and everything. It's just fantastic. So here's a picture of my dad in the prankster years when he was on the way out. He was very sick, and he had enough speed and LSD, anything he wanted, and he had this sledgehammer, and he would take this hammer and flip it and catch it and flip it and catch it, and he'd do it over and over and over. And he told Mom it was to focus, to keep his mind sharp, even though he was drugged to the max, right? So about last month, there was a huge thing in Santa Cruz where we live, and all the pranksters came down from Oregon to Santa Cruz. Mountain Girl, Ken Babbs, George Walker, Leo Quanstrom. They all came to Santa Cruz, and they presented me with his hammer. I have the hammer now. It's unbelievable. We were going to bring it, but guess what? It's so heavy I didn't want to pay the extra fare, okay? I was going to show it to you guys, but, it's... Anyway, so this is the new part of our life, exploring his later years, which I've always put aside, didn't want to see that, But you know what? It was great. Him with the pranksters and everything he did late in life, is just as important as his Denver years. And Randy and I are just learning that right now, right? So it's a whole new thing for us to get into, is the years when he was on his decline. So we're just exploring that right now, and it's fascinating, of course. And I don't know what to say next. You want to...
Just basically, a lot of stuff is going on, and I don't know
about
why.
The movies.
Yes, that's what I was going to do. We've had several offers for movies. One that we have gone with on the option, if you know about that. You have an option, and then once you sign that contract, then you make another contract for a movie. But anyway, we were approached to do Carolyn, a movie on Carolyn's book, and so we were very excited about that. And then also, we also heard from...
James Franco.
Yeah, it was Rabbit...
It's called Rabbit Bandino, something weird.
Yeah, something
production
that's
company.
James Franco is interested. It's his production company. He's interested in doing a thing about Neal.
Dad's
But
book.
it's pretty much, we think it's about the letter. That's gotten a lot of info. And we had another person contacted us about doing a movie. So things are really moving along, and
it's just amazing that it's still moving along, right?
Right.
There's this artist over here doing, I just am so in awe and amazed and happy and that you guys are here, and he keeps being literary and everything about him. I mean, it just I'm just so proud, and I'm so happy you guys came to share this
Right.
with me.
The biggest thing is Denver is very, very important as a
is.
beat area and a place, and you are the people.
Yes.
And we want to make sure, and when we get control of that letter, that manuscript, it'll be here, Denver, because it's about when it was what he wrote here about his life and when he was still here and stuff. That's what the letter is about. If you've read the first third and the story to have seen a specter, it's the majority of that story. To have seen a specter is just a small part of that original. It's all they could find. So anyway, it's a definite Denver thing, and we just want to make sure that you all know that. Denver is very, very important. We would like to, I came up with the idea today that we'd like to start the Neal Cassady Estate in Denver as like a club, a group of people to help promote Neal Cassady, to put on other venues like this. I think there's room. I think there's lots of things that can go on, and we need to promote it. We need to get Neal out there. If he was the Holy Grail, if he wrote the Holy Grail of the Beat generation, that's pretty amazing. So.